Grand Funk performing at the Haynes-Apperson Festival in Kokomo on July 1st at 7:30. That's this Saturday. The Haynes-Apperson Festival takes place in Foster Park in Kokomo, Indiana. Admission to the fest is free, but the Grand Funk show is $20. There's also VIP seating for $40. The website is now open and available for you, HaynesAppersonFestival.org. And with me on the phone, the longtime drummer, founding member of Grand Funk, Don Brewer, man.
How's it going this morning?
Fantastic, man. Pleasure to talk to you again. I met you like 19 years ago. I'm sure you don't remember, but that's all right. Grand Funk has sold over 25 million albums, singles, whatever. You guys are huge, man. Huge.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All from a band I started in my basement in Swartz Creek, Michigan.
It's amazing what can come out of a basement, you know?
It is. It is.
Now, the group includes you and founding member bassist Mel Shocker, one of the best bassists in rock and roll history.
The God of Thunder.
Yeah, he's great, man. And who else is in the band?
Right now we've got Max Carl. He's the guy from 38 that wrote Second Chance. He's probably one of the last blue-eyed soul singers on the planet, which makes him perfect for Grand Funk, because Grand Funk is like a real pumped-up on steroids version of soul music. So there you go.
And last time I spoke to you, Mark was still with you. Do you ever have any contact with Mark?
Not these days. You know, he went off and doing his own thing. That was after that tour that we were in to see you in '98. I think Mark left the band. So that was, 19, 20 years ago.
Sure, yeah.
So, yeah.
So who else is in the band besides Max Carl? I know who Max Carl is. I've seen Max in both bands.
Oh, there you go. Well, yeah, we've got Bruce Kulick playing lead guitar with us. Bruce is the guy that played with Kiss for 12 years when they took their makeup off. An old friend of ours. I first met Bruce back in the 80s when I was playing with Bob Seger in the Silver Bullet Band, and he was in our opening act playing with Michael Bolton. That's where I first met him. You know, we've had Bruce with the band now for 18 years. Also, Tim Cashin. He played with Bob Seger for a while. He played with Robert Palmer for a while. He's kind of been around the block. Great singer, great keyboard player. Just a great addition to this band.
I'm with Grand Funk drummer Don Brewer. You guys are not only coming to Kokomo this Saturday, but opening up for Bob Seger September 2nd. Now, I know that you were in the Silver Bullet Band for quite some time. Are you playing both shows or just one?
No, not this time. No, I'm just doing Grand Funk. For years and years, we were able to work out a schedule between the Silver Bullet Band and Grand Funk, you know, but this year it just didn't work out. You know, Grand Funk was just too busy touring, and so, you know, this will be a fun show, though. That really, you know, we're playing the Klipsch Amphitheater, you know.
Yes, it is.
24,000 seats, so it'll be a fun night.
And what will the show on Saturday consist of?
It's an all-hits Grand Funk Railroad rock and roll show. We do rock and roll soul, foot stomping music, Shining On, Walk Like a Man, Locomotion, Some Kind of Wonderful, We're an American Band, I'm Your Captain, Closer to Home, Inside Looking Out, as well as a few new things that we worked into the show, and it's a great show. It really is.
Good. I'm glad you said Shining On and Walk Like a Man. Those are two of my favorites.
There you go.
How many shows do you do in a year, Don?
About 40 we average. You know, this year I think we're going to get closer to 45. I think last year we did about 45 as well. Usually we do around 40 shows.
Have you had time to work on anything new, or?
We always are working on new stuff. You know, the guys will bring in a new song, and we'll work it into the show and do it for, you know, a year and see where it goes. At some point, I'd like to put out a live record that includes all of the hits, but as well as all of the new stuff that we compiled over the years. That would be fun to do. 93.5
Max, Brian Casey here, the Maximum Music Morning Show, and one of the founding members of Grand Funk, the legendary drummer, Don Brewer, playing the Haynes-Apperson Fest in Kokomo on Saturday. The festival's free. Tickets cost $20 and a VIP seating $40. I'll post on our Facebook page how you can get those tickets. Don, what keeps you motivated after playing some of these songs 48 years?
I never get tired of walking on stage and watching a crowd light up. That's always been just a total fascination for me, you know, and watch everybody, you know, smile and sweat and have a good time. And I never get tired of that. And now, you know, I'll get out and I'll start singing Some Kind of Wonderful. And pretty soon, you know, the whole place is singing louder than I am. And you see grandkids and kids and parents and grandparents all out there, and they know the words to your songs. And that, you know, that's a thrill.
I've been in classic rock for 30-some years, and it's just as popular now than it ever has been. I don't see it slowing down at all, do you?
I hope not. It was funny. I was having a discussion with somebody the other day about music, and it's just amazing. You know, it's called classic rock now, and I said, you know, it's classic because it's timeless. You know, and I think that time period of music that was created in the, you know, late '60s, early '70s, going into the '80s, I think it is timeless.
Did disco cause Grand Funk to break up in the first place?
Well, not really break up, but it was very difficult for us to come up with a formula that would work on radio back then. That's when we started doing more of our R&B roots. We went back and picked up Some Kind of Wonderful and that kind of stuff. We were going that way rather than try to do the disco thing. That wasn't going to work for Grand Funk.
No, disco sucks. It still sucks. I hate it today. I hated it back then. Just sucked. You guys were very, very huge. Sold out Shea Stadium in New York City faster than the Beatles did. How'd that make you feel, man?
Wow, that's quite a feat. Of course, I like to say that it was probably because they got their ticket selling process together. Now places sell out instantaneously because of the internet. So back then, when the Beatles were selling tickets, that was a whole different system than what it was when Grand Funk came in and sold out. But just the fact that we sold out and played a place that was, for Shea Stadium. Come on. That was an incredible experience. We were 19, 20 years old at the time. Just wow.
Probably goosebumps on top of goosebumps, huh?
On top of goosebumps. There you go.
Is it any different on stage playing these massive venues as opposed to the more intimate setups?
I like both. To me, it's actually easier. You get out in front of 10 or 20,000 people, and it seems easier than it is for you're playing for 1,000 people. It's just one of those things. I like playing the 1,000-seat places. You've got everybody right there. There's not a bad seat in the house. You are looking in the face of your audience. I like that.
And you went to Florida and recorded American Band. I think that is the song that defines Grand Funk the most. I really do.
It's certainly a huge hit.
Yeah, and you did that after fighting some legal issues with your ex-manager, Terry Nightmare.
Terry Nightmare. There you go. Yep. Actually, the song came out of really having to come up with something that would be keep us out of trouble with lawsuits and all that stuff. We were being sued. We didn't have any money. Every town we were playing in, we were being sued. And we were flying from town to town, and I came up with the line in my head, "We're coming to your town. We'll help you party it down." I felt that's what the band was doing, and I wrote the song around that line, and Up All Night with Freddie King playing poker, Sweet Sweet Connie and Little Rock, the Four Young Chiquitas in Omaha, all the things that were happening on the road at that time went into that song. And the very last thing that I came up with was the tagline, "We're an American Band," and it really wasn't because I was trying to wave the flag or anything. It was more because it sang well. I was just rehearsing the song with my little acoustic guitar, and one day that just came out of my head, and it just sang well.
It's amazing how things like that happen.
Yeah.
And would that be your favorite Grand Funk song?
I don't think that would be my favorite. I'm Your Captain Closer to Home is a favorite song of mine. There was a song on I think it was on the Shining On album called "To Get Back In." It's another one of my favorite songs, so there were several other ones. "I Come Tumbling" off of E Pluribus Funk is another Grand Funk favorite of mine. Several of those, more of the obscure stuff, I think.
Getting back to American Band, you sing lead on that. How in the hell do you sing lead and play that kick-ass drum part? How do you keep your mind straight, man?
Well, I came up as a drummer. I came up being a singing drummer. I never had to learn how to sing and play at the same time. It was just one of the things I did as I was learning both, So all the bands, the Jazz Masters and all the bands that came before Grand Funk, the Pack, I was always a singing drummer. I was always either singing backup or singing lead or whatever it was, At one time, even in one of the earliest bands I played in, I stood up behind the drum kit and played, with a microphone stand right between my legs, and I would stand and play the drums and sing at the same time.
So what did you do when Grand Funk was on hiatus?
Well, I went back to school, and I got my degree in business administration, and I raised 2 daughters, and and I kept myself busy until the kids got old enough and I could go back on the road.
Did you ever hear this? Mr. Brewer, you have a customer in the showroom?
No, I didn't hear that.
Well, there was a rumor that you were a car salesman in Florida.
A car salesman? No. Yeah. That's the first time I've heard that. No.
The Haynes Apperson Festival takes place in Foster Park in Kokomo, Indiana. Admission to the fest is free. The concert's $20 to see the legendary Grand Funk VIP seating. I'd highly recommend that for $40. HaynesAppersonFestival.org or on Facebook.com/Haynes Apperson Festival official page / Don, it has been a pleasure to speak with you again, man.
Brian, great to talk to you. Hey, everybody, this is Don Brewer from Grand Funk Railroad, and you're listening to Brian Casey on the Maximum Music Morning Show.